Hello friends, today we meet again and we shall discuss assessments, right? Assessments under GST law. To understand assessments under GST law, we shall divide our suppliers into two categories, every person into two categories. The first is the registered persons, the other is the unregistered persons. The registered persons are further divided into two categories, the regular filers and the non-filers. So, first of all, a supplier who is registered and is filing his returns regularly is given an option for self-assessment. It is a benefit given to him that whatever tax he will assess for himself, compute for himself, shall be assessed as such. He will be self-assessed and the returns shall be accepted. The second category is the non-filer. Now, this category is a supplier who was required to file his returns, but he has failed to do so. Now what happens? The proper officer shall serve a notice on this person who has failed to file his return, who is registered. After the notice has been served, 15 days time shall be given to this supplier. After the expiry of this time of 15 days, what happens next? If no reply is received or the proper officer is not satisfied with the reply received, he can proceed to form a best judgment assessment. This best judgment assessment can be made only from the record available on his file or the data that he has collected over time. Now, after the best judgment assessment has been made, the order shall be served upon the supplier. After receipt of the order, still the registered person, the registered supplier who failed to file his return has got an option. That option is, within 30 days, he can file a valid return with his proper officer. And as soon as this valid return is filed, the best judgment assessment order framed by the officer shall be treated as withdrawn. Now, we should understand that since this person failed to file his return, obviously his return is delayed. Even if now he has gone and filed a valid return, his return is delayed. And if there was any tax payable, that tax is also delayed. Now, although the best judgment assessment order is deemed as withdrawn, he will still have to pay the late filing penalty and the interest on late payment of tax. The second category of the persons is unregistered persons. Now, see what has happened. The person was actually required to get registered under GST law, but he failed to get the registration. Now, what is the option available with the proper officer? The proper officer shall serve a show cause notice on this unregistered person, and after receiving his reply, giving him an opportunity of being heard, the person shall be assessed to the best of his judgment and an order shall be served upon him within specified time limit. We have discussed assessment for a registered person who is a regular filer, a registered person who has not filed his returns, and unregistered person. There are three more types of assessments. The first one is provisional, the second one is scrutiny assessment, and the third one is summary assessment. The provisional assessment is an option available with every person who is not able to assess his value or rate of tax. Such person can approach the proper officer and ask him to give a provisional assessment order and assess his value or rate and pay tax accordingly. The second type of assessment is scrutiny assessment. What happens in scrutiny assessment is that the the proper officer, to verify the correctness of returns, issues a notice to the concerned supplier. The supplier is asked certain questions and replies are sought. Once the replies are received, if there is nothing which raises an eyebrow, which raises further queries, nothing is done and the matter is put to rest. If certain discrepancies are found, these discrepancies have to be intimated to the supplier by the proper officer, and his assessment shall be made accordingly after receiving replies and giving him an opportunity of being heard. The final form of assessment is summary assessment. In case of summary assessment, what happens? If the proper officer has got evidence, there is a lot of emphasis on the word evidence. It cannot be a fluke, it cannot be a running inquiry. There has to be some evidence. If the proper officer has got certain evidence that if an assessment is not done there and then, right now, the person might escape with the liability, then he can make a summary assessment there and then and issue an assessment order and serve it upon the person. Friends, these were the types of assessment discussed in brief. Each type of assessment needs a detailed discussion, and justice can only be done when we devote appropriate time to each topic. All these topics shall be discussed at length individually in our coming webinars and future videos. We would like to know about your views, your comments, your queries, your questions. Our team is ready with their answers. We shall always endeavor to answer your queries at our earliest possible. Please leave your queries in the comment section below. Like our videos, share and comment upon them. We are awaiting your response. Thanks and good luck till next time.